And I lost my train of thought. I'm not even gonna lie. Lost my train of thought there.
It's all right. It's early.
Yes, it's very early, but yes, I got it back again. The way they work and the way they hold each other accountable, that shows me that they get it. Because if the coach is always having to get on you, that kind of gets tiring. But when the players start to say, hey man, that's not how we do it, you got to do it like this, and they go out there and show them, that's what we're wanting.
Take a look at the Henry Clay schedule as we wrap things up with Coach Ambergy. And Coach, I know a very difficult schedule. You talked about the Collins game to start, and then a couple more home games early in the season as well.
So Collins is the one we're gonna use that as our barometer, I guess, our measuring stick to see. They're a good football team, and everyone knows that. They're recognized around the state. So let's see how we stack up against one of the better ones, one of the talented quarterbacks. They got receivers, like I said. And then as they come on down through, I think we got Madison Southern in game 2 home. That'd be a good matchup for us. We matched up well with them last year. Had the ball bounce a couple bad ways for us and some bonehead plays, and we play away from winning that game. And then we got Henderson County, I think, in week 3. Is that right?
It is.
So that's a good thing. We don't have to travel light years away to go play a high school football game.
Coach, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
That's Coach Ambergy. We thank him for joining us. We'll step aside. Coach David Clark will join us next from Lex Gaff. Just getting started live on Glycon.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
This is the velvety green turf of your lawn, where you don't just earn your stripes, you mow them. Victory is not without obstacles: tall grass, dreaded fence line, trees to get under and around. Once we called this no man's land. Today we call it conquered, with cold hard steel and an iron will. Go ahead, take a victory lap, 'cause it's mow day.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable. Flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
At Central Equipment, we're a family, and that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers
through the quality brands that we represent,
with the parts and service that we offer,
with one main focus of making sure
our customers leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family,
so we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Head coach David Clark is up next. David, tremendous year last year at 10-3. How do you feel entering 2026, Coach?
I felt pretty good. We were able to set a foundation for the program, so the kids, they came into it blindly. So I was really pleased with the way they responded to me. Just another new system for them. So this year we feel like we have a little bit of stability, and always another year in a system, both offensively and defensively, really helps.
Coach, some bad news for you. When our Herald Leader preseason poll comes out next week, you're going to be Class 3A number 2. How do you feel about the expectations? Because the expectations are nothing new at Lexington Catholic, but people think a lot of you. Are you going to be able to put that on the field?
Well, we don't really concern ourselves with what the polls say, and it's great. But the focus is what we can do, and we feel like we can make a strong push in 3A. So, that's great. But either way, we have a goal what we as a team want to set. So, we're good. We're good with it.
Coach, I know every coach is looking for leadership on the field. Tell me where you think that leadership will come from with this group.
We're lucky that a lot of these players are very, very experienced. They've been playing for, some of them are 4-year starters for us. We have several that are 3 years. So we have a pretty strong junior, senior class, and the leadership will start with them.
David, a lengthy career, 18 years, I believe, as a head coach. Elaborate on the state of high school football as you see it and just some of the changes that have happened over the last few years.
This is my 30th season as a football coach in the state of Kentucky. I started in 1996, and just like with everything, the game's really evolved, and I had this conversation, the things that you say today is a little bit different than what you said before. The way you coach is a little different, and the way the kids play is a lot different. What we grew up seeing, the strong safeties are now linebackers. It's just a different game, but the product is still so good. So I think we've definitely made a lot of safeguards to take care of kids, to protect them from themselves and not ruin the game too. So I think the game is thriving.
Coach, I don't imagine you're going to tell me who your starting quarterback is yet, but what are you looking out of that position? Because you lost, I was your leading passer, leading rusher last year. Lost to get a lot of things for you. What do you need out of QB this year?
We're looking for somebody that can run the offense, put us in good situations, not put us in bad situations, that manages the team well. That's one of the things that Brady was so good at. Was, of course, he was our leading rusher and our leading passer, but what he did was he understood the offensive system and put people in good spots. And that's what we're really looking for. We feel like we have a strong run game. We have we have some big tight ends that are going to really help us. So it's just being able to run the offense and allow our defense to be our defense.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your staff, the guys you work with to make all of this happen.
Well, our staff is a really experienced staff. We lost our defensive coordinator, Dave Nurnberg. He left Lexington Catholic to take an athletic director position in New York, in Queens. So that was a big blow for us. He's been our defense coordinator, which our defense was unbelievable. But taking his place is everyone knows him very well to Lexington Catholic is Nigel Smith, and Nigel stepped in and has done a really, really good job. And along with Ron Kelly, those are the mainstays. Ron's been there since early 2000s, and he handles our defensive line and our strength. And then so those are the two that have been with the program for a really long time. We added Daniel Bowling back, which is a Lexington Catholic graduate and was on the coaching staff for quite a while, and he came back after Coach Nurnberg stepped away. So we feel like, and then I don't want to leave anybody out, but we feel like the coaching staff has shored up pretty nicely.
Who are some key players you're really going to count on this year, Coach?
Well, our defensive line is back. Mark Hozinski is probably one of our most decorated players. He's a defensive end. He's a Colgate commit, and he'll anchor the defensive line and also play quite a bit of tight end for us. Jack Wedding is our linebacker that is back. He controls the middle for us, and then Ben Schlarman is back as well at the linebacker position. Our secondary, they're all back. Our whole secondary, which I'll try to name them all, and hopefully I don't leave anybody out. But Baird Woodall is coming back. He's a junior. Ethan Bradford's a senior, is a safety. Eric Smith is back. Beckett Brittingham, who did not play last year very much because he was hurt all year with a pretty big knee injury, is back and looking really, really good. And then Johnny Harper's going to see more on the defensive side too in the secondary. So we feel like we have a pretty experienced secondary.
Coach, as we talk here on August the 5th, how would you rate the team's progress to this point, both in off-season work and then the work on the field leading up to this point, with opening day still a little bit of time away?
I think we had a really good offseason in the weight room, lift really hard, tried to prepare us. I laugh when people ask us, what's your assessment of your team? You don't know until you get hit. You just don't know. You don't know how you're going to play with pads on. We've only been able to be in pads since August 1st, so we feel like this Friday is going to be a telltale, kind of a good measuring stick to how we go against someone else.
Coach, let's take a look at your schedule here. What stands out for 2026, Coach?
I think the schedule, the way that it worked out last year, of course what you're trying to do is you're trying to position yourself as best as you can for the playoffs. It turned out that week 1 was a really big game for us that we lost, that knocked us down into the rankings. So we think playing the 6A Ballard's a really important game for us. Then we have our district schedule, which is always important. But when you're playing for, that RPI, that winning the games against classes ahead of you is very, very important. So that's important to us. Then of course we have our rival games that are always big, but it's all about positioning ourselves in a good place so we can make a strong run in the playoffs.
Well, Jack Wedding sees some carries, and I think you have another 6'5" tight end, defensive end, and Ashton. I'm going to massacre his name.
Ashton Flugner.
Flugner.
Yes, and Ashton's been getting quite a bit of D1 looks as well. He hasn't made a decision quite yet, and he'll come here soon. But he started tight end last year, and he was a basketball player, didn't even play as a sophomore, and he's just got bigger and bigger. So we have 2 tight ends that are 6'5", and then Ben Schlarman's playing a lot of tight end and running back as well. Jack Wedding will see the ball along with Eric Smith, Baird Woodall, and Beckett Brittingham.
We're at a stage where you're solving problems, I guess, every day, or moving toward it anyway, but what's at the top of the list that you'd like to get a little more firmed up over the next couple of weeks?
Always consistency. We do things well at times. It's being consistent. Always, you can never have too much discipline in your program, and making sure that you're doing the right things at the right time, the right way. So those are the things that we focus on every single day. And then just understanding the whole aspect of the game, and not just one. When you understand the big picture, you become a whole lot better football player and become a better team. So it's really teaching those principles.
David, thanks so much for your time. It's good to see you, sir.
Thanks, guys. Great seeing you.
Head coach David Clark of Lexington Catholic. Nathan McPeak will join us next. He and his talented Frederick Douglass Broncos. Step aside. Coming up more after this on Glide High.
Want to stop vaping? It takes less time to get help than it does to skip this video. Text START MY QUIT to 36072. No pressure. Get free, confidential help to quit vaping.
This message was furnished by the Bourbon County Health Department.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to pay to have the leaves raked. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due today. That means Anthony made it on time for the big game to see the home team score the winning touchdown. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
At Central Equipment, we're a family, and that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers.
Through the quality brands that we represent.
With the parts and service that we offer.
With one main focus of making sure you,
our customers, leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family.
So we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Up next, Nathan McPeak, head coach of the Broncos, joins us. Coach, it's always a treat. Assess where you guys are throughout camp right now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. First off, I want to thank you guys for what you guys do for all the players, and Mr. Peck's everywhere with every sport, so appreciate what he does, and just wanted to say thank you for what you do for all the athletes around, because it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we've had a good camp so far. It's nice to have some more experience coming back than we did a year ago. Just guys that have been in the program, kind of know how I like to run things, and we have a really big senior class this year, so just familiarity with everything, and just all the guys we have coming back that got a lot of experience a year ago. So it's been a little bit nicer camp for that, but I still got to monitor our reps and leading up to the year, because our schedule is, as you guys know, very tough. So we got to gear up, and next couple of weeks get ready in these scrimmages, and then open up against Highlands.
Coach, last year you had a different team. It wasn't like the monster team that you've had in past years, but you were still like one crazy play away from a region championship in the state semifinals for like the umpteenth year in a row. How has this team grown, or what do you see out of this team that maybe can get you back into the state semis and beyond this year? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you learn from that experience a year ago. As everybody knows, we didn't start out very well, and that was a humbling experience, being 0-3. But the kids kept plugging along, and we lost 4 games by 14 total points. So I'd say, to answer your question, just the overall experience of being in those moments. Hopefully that helps. It doesn't guarantee success by any means. 6A is very tough, especially at the top. And when you're in the region championship, you're going to play good teams. So it didn't go our way a year ago, but I'm still mad we didn't practice on Thanksgiving. I'm still mad about that, and that's kind of maybe a spoiled statement to make, because there's a lot of good coaches and players that never get to do something like that. But it's an expectation at our place, and when we don't do it and we don't have breakfast together on Thanksgiving, it's kind of a disappointment. And I'm not going to apologize for those standards by any means. But, the kids did a good job. We got a lot of guys back from that experience, so hopefully it helps us.
Coach, I've heard you talk about the numbers of kids in your program, and of course that's an important part of building a strong program. It's great to have those individual stars. You've had a lot of them, but you got to have depth, and you got to have continuity. Tell me about how those numbers have progressed and where you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have, I think, 58 freshmen out right now, which is, other than private schools, you'd be hard-pressed to find a school that has that many out. We're at 138, 9 through 12. Again, other than private schools, you're probably not dealing with that high number anywhere else. And that's a blessing. I'm not complaining, but there's a lot of planning that has to go into that. Getting guys reps, getting them better is super important. But, you mentioned the depth piece, and that was kind of my message over the last couple of days with practice is, we're sitting there in the region finals, and, we're without 3 defensive starters because of injury. And, the next guy's got to be up and ready. And in those big moments, and some of those guys, they got humbled a little bit in that region finals, so we got to do a better job as a staff and coaches of building those depth pieces throughout the year. And it's tough because, we don't have a lot of games where you can just throw people in. We're playing a really tough schedule, and those games are very thin margins. So for us, it's tough because you want to win. You want to try to be as competitive as you can. But yeah, I mean, our numbers are really good, 9 through 12 in our program. The health of our program is really solid, and hopefully continue to build on that.
Coach, I know you brought some players, and we'll talk to them in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Of the 5 you brought, Dakari Talbert.
Yep.
Sell him for Mr. Football.
I mean, he's electric. He's obviously a great player. And I've told him this, it's going to be tough for the 27 class is really good in the state. You know, it's really, really good. In my opinion, he would probably know better than me, but it's probably one of the more depth classes in football we've had in the whole state. But he's electrifying, and the thing that's underrated about him is how good he catches the football. You know, I mean, we got him involved in the passing game a little bit more last year, and hopefully we continue to do that this year because he's really good at catching the football too. A lot of people don't talk about that with him, but you know, if we do our job up front, I got everybody back from last year up front. We didn't have any seniors, so if those guys stay healthy and we do what we're supposed to, hopefully we can create a lot of lanes for him, and he does his thing.
Now, part of the offensive struggles early on is that you immediately had to throw a freshman quarterback into the fire.
Yep.
How has Jaden Guzman grown into the role? I mean, he impressed me. Like, I never expected him to do some of the things he did last year.
Right.
And he played some quality minutes.
Yeah, I mean, he got a lot of good experience. You know, he went in against Trinity and his eyes are this big, you know, down there. So, you know, that was a tough game for us. But he grew from it and played really well against Manual, you know, and kind of went from there. But, you know, we expect big things from him. You know, he's commanded offense, and he's a great young man. He does exactly what we ask him to do. He's always at practice, ready to work. Quiet, you know, I'd like to see him be a little bit more vocal, and he'll get that as he keeps maturing. But we expect big things from him. You know, our receiver corps has some talent, but we're replacing a lot of the guys we lost last year. That was kind of our senior group we had was at receiver. So a lot of those guys are going to be new, but they're very talented. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Coach, every program has to have a good fan base, a good base of support. Noticed you had a booster event, I guess, this week. And tell me about that part of the Douglas program. And how
I mean, it's big. Our booster club has to be huge. I mean, a lot of people don't talk about it, but with that size of a program, I mean, we have to operate on $150,000, $175,000, $200,000 budget from our boosters. And that sounds like, wow, right? But we spend it because we have so much numbers, and football's an expensive sport. You make a lot of money, but you also have to spend a lot of money, you know, on food and equipment and everything else. And we have a lot of great support. We have the highest amount of sponsorships we've ever had in the history of the program, which makes sense because we're going into year 10. It's a special year. I've seen every team go through. So for me personally, this is a really special year, being our 10th year. We're going to honor our state championship team against Highlands, and we're going to have a big barbecue for all of our former players. So, you know, we want all of our former players and everybody associated with our program back this year to celebrate, and hopefully we can give them a show this year. You know, the players are well aware that this is our 10th year anniversary, and we want to make it special.
Nathan, let's take a look at your schedule, and you mentioned it's always difficult. You talked about the Highlands game to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I'm talking to 3 or 4 media people that are going to be live before the game, like I think a lot of the media, local TV stations have already asked us for permission to be there. Obviously, Lorenzen's son coming back to Lexington's another storyline. You know, obviously they have a really good team. Coach Spire does a great job. And then, you know, being our home opener of our 10th year ever, I mean, you only get one of those. So it should be a great environment. I know they're going to bring a lot of great people, and it was a heck of an environment last year. So hopefully we can replicate that at home this year and move forward. We have an early bye week, so that's kind of on me to get us some rest throughout the year. Unfortunately, we have an early bye week, and then we have Manual week 3, and then we play, you know, like 9 weeks in a row before the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting for me to kind of see how that is. This is the earliest bye week I've ever had as a head football coach. So kind of how I got to navigate that to give us a little bit more time throughout the year is going to be important.
Coach, your defense, Coach Poe's always done a great job with the defense. It's been the signature of you know, the Broncos. How comfortable is Coach Poe and you, and how comfortable are you with the defense that they can be the lockdown team that you expect out of them?
If we're healthy, I think we can be really good. The question is when we do have injuries or banged up and we have to replace, you know, some of the guys, are those guys going to step up to the plate? Our starting 11 is as good as we've had, and we're not as big as maybe we were back in 21, 22 on the D-line. You know, where, I mean, 22, I think we gave up like 4 points a game or something crazy. You know, our schedule's much tougher now, but the biggest question for us is kind of health on the back end at safety. Our top safeties are good players, but what's it look like if they get banged up? But our linebackers are really good and solid, and they can run. And we're back to playing with great speed. We're a very fast defense, a good movement skill defense, and if we can run and stay healthy, I think we'll be right there at one of the best defenses in the state, in my opinion.
Coach, tell me about your message to the team this year, coming off a year that a lot of schools would love to have, but then Douglas, you've established this very high standard.
Right.
What was your message to the players that were returning?
Yeah, I mean, our theme this year is it's about us with the U capitalized, and all that represents is, it's about you and what you do for the team. Every decision that you make on and off the field affects our football team. And when you're dealing with 138 14 to 18-year-old personalities, that's a lot, right? So just trying to message that into understanding that everything they do in school, weight room, sleep, nutrition, every little thing matters. And with the schedule we play, that's true. And any guys that are returning this year, which we have a lot of guys that played last year that are returning, they know that the margin of error is very small. Like I said, really the only game we weren't in was the Trinity game. Every other loss we had, all the other 4 losses by 14 total points, we're right there, and we didn't make the plays. So this year, it's about us, right? But it's also about you, and are you going to set yourself up to make those plays in the game? And that starts with, everyday preparation. So hopefully our guys are there. I feel good about our group. Like I said, it's just the question is our depth. Where are those guys going to be by midseason to be able to get us where we need to get?
Coach, thanks so much for your time. We'll take a break and chat with some of your players.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you all.
Be right back to Roosters in just a moment on Glycod.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
This is the velvety green turf of your lawn, where you don't just earn your stripes, you mow them. Victory is not without obstacles, tall grass, dreaded fence line, trees to get under and around. Once we called this no man's land. Today we call it conquered, with cold hard steel and an iron will. Go ahead, take a victory lap, 'cause it's mow day.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable. Flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
At Central Equipment, we're a family, and that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers.
Through the quality brands that we represent.
With the parts and service that we offer.
With one main focus of making sure you,
our customers, leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family.
So we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
several special guests tonight. We'll chat with 4 of Douglas's student athletes. We'll start from left to right to Corey Fields. To Corey, you've had a fantastic season, leading up to this season, fabulous junior year. What have you challenged yourself with this year?
Just getting stronger in the weight room, and getting smarter, with ball, and understanding formations and coverages and all that.
Guys, how much is last year feeding into this year? I mean, I know that didn't get a region championship, didn't get to go to the state semifinals. How motivated are you guys to right the ship this year?
Just pretty motivated. We use the Ryle loss as motivation in the offseason to get stronger. Like I said, me personally, I was injured in that game, so I'm looking to come back this year and make a statement.
Corey, go ahead on to Thurman there. I wanted to ask you, I've called some of your games. By the way, enjoy watching all of you play. It's been great. You've really done a lot for Douglas, and it's fun to watch you play. But you seem to be around that football. I'm almost surprised if you're not around the football after when guys get up. What's your approach to playing defense? What makes you a good defensive player?
It's just being bred from a young age. That's all I knew was football, attack, 100% effort every play. And then God's going to do the rest of the work with me. So,
and everybody likes to, at least as a little kid, you think about carrying the football across the line, but you stop people from doing that. Is that as much fun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd rather make the hit to get hit, in my opinion. Yes, sir.
Xavier is an offensive lineman. I know Douglas takes so much pride in that position. What has the challenge been for you this year?
I say my challenge is to just corral all my O-linemen on the line with me to just to work on one mind and to be connected on the same level. And then also just for me, I say looking at the defense more and calling out blitzes or just the formation.
Dakari, I mean, a lot of talk about you. It's a tough field for Mr. Football this year. And, the coaches voted on that this year. It's not my fault, but I can give you some hype if we go along. What's it going to take for you to get those numbers from your offensive line, get those holes, get the wins, and be the best Douglas team this team can be?
I just pretty much just got to do what I could do as a leader to first prepare us for the season. And then when the season comes, I just got to do whatever I got to do to help my team win. It's not really too much more than that. If I just do my job and everybody else does their job, all that comes with it. And I hope Mr. Football comes with that too.
Let me ask Dakari one more question, then I'll ask one that you can decide on who wants to answer. But Dakari, your growth as a running back, it's so much more than just speed. You've got that, but you got to be able to be patient sometimes and then hit the hole, and you've got to be strong with the ball. You've got to catch the ball, and the coach has said you've increased your role there. Tell me about your growth as a running back and how that has happened.
My growth as a running back, I just try to first work on my body. I try to secondly get faster, and third, I'm just probably just be more than just a good running back. I just want to be more of unstoppable. So whatever I got to do in the play to make the best of that play, that's what I just want to showcase this year, that I'm just unstoppable. So I just want to be. Well,
let me ask you. You can all chime in if you want to, but Coach mentioned the "It's About Us" motto for this year. Tell me about what that means to you and how that affects your approach to football.
It's all about us. It just means that in every little situation that we come across, like lifting, practice, communicating with our team, when we're tired, we got to think not to be selfish. It's about my brother next to me. I got to be dependable for my brother. When I'm in the weight room or when we got to wake up early for practice, if I don't want to wake up for practice, I'm not doing it for me. It's about us. I'm just doing it for my brother next to me to get to one common goal.
Good. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Just basically not having a selfish mindset, putting our brothers before us, because at the end of it, we all want the same goal. We all want to be holding up at banner, getting rings at Kroger Field. So, yeah.
Sounds like everybody's on the same page with that.
Yes, sir.
This is for Thurman and Dakari. For you guys to play both basketball and football at a high level, what does it take, Thurman?
It takes a lot of dedication, discipline, a village. To be honest with you, you gotta make sure you're doing all the right things, off and on the court, off and on the field. Just brotherhood, just discipline a lot.
I'll just say it takes, like what Thurman said, discipline, just probably like confidence, like just switching on to one sport and onto another.
Guys, I think the two craziest games y'all played was the first game last year at Highlands and the last game versus Ryle. How do you guys keep your heads? I mean, there's some mental mistakes in those games that maybe caught you a little bit, but I mean, still, you had to say that we were right there in all those games. What's it going to take this year to come out on the positive side of when things get nuts?
I'd say just thinking back towards last year, just like using that as the motivation to like build over that bridge to beat Highlands and to get, if we do play Raleigh in the playoffs, get them back.
Good.
Last year, I think we didn't have as much discipline and we weren't as mature, but this offseason we've been working on that, so when that comes around again, I think we'll be ready.
Ask really all of you, you're all seniors, correct? Yeah, so this is the last go-around. You've been playing football together for a long time. Just a quick thought on what that senior year means to you as you approach it.
Senior year, it came by fast, so I'm going to try and enjoy this season, my last season together with them, so yeah.
It means a lot. Senior year, I done grew up playing with these boys since we was yay high, so it means the world.
I'm just really looking forward to it. Putting my all out there for my senior year, and just finishing out with the people I started out with.
I'm just grateful to just to be here and just to showcase what I could do. I'm just grateful to be playing with the people I play with and to play who I play for.
Thanks very much.
Guys, thanks so much for your time. We'll chat with Wes Johnson and Paul Lawrence Dunbar in just a moment. We're live at Roosters on Glycon.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to pay to have the leaves raked. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due today. That means Anthony made it on time for the big game to see the home team score the winning touchdown. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Vaping isn't a trend, it's an addiction. Ready to quit? Text Start My Quit to 36072. No pressure. Get free, confidential help to quit vaping.
This message was furnished by the Bourbon County Health Department.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Wes Johnson joins us. He is one of the deans in the 11th region in the Central Kentucky football. 9th year, Wes, at Dunbar. Summarize the trek at this point.
Well, it's definitely been a fun ride. When I first started out when I was 27 years old at West Jessamine High School, that was a different mindset of a young coach. I would lose sleep over every loss. I would not be happy with any kind of win. It was always the next thing. You couldn't really enjoy much. And I've really just taken 9 years to enjoy football, enjoy coaching, enjoy the kids. We've had some really, really, really good years at Dunbar, some of the best they've ever had. And, you go through cycles, and I think this year is an uptick in a cycle, where we were young the past couple years, and now I have a group of 22, 24 seniors that'll be playing this year. And, we've had a really, really good competitive last couple years, even though we didn't win a lot. We were in about every game there was. So, I'm really excited about this crew for sure, and this year.
Coach, when you took the job, it was definitely a rebuild. They'd been through a few coaches in a few years. It was a quick turnover there at Dunbar, but it seemed like, the first few years it was an ascent. And then how do you keep yourself, the challenge of, you've been through the cycle, how do you get motivated to go, take the next cycle up, get it back on track?
Well, I think that is the job of all of us coaches. I mean, we don't recruit our guys. We have what's coming to us. You develop what's yours, and that becomes the fun out of it all. I think the growth of what I see, especially the guy here next to me, from his freshman year to now his senior year, that is success to me. I always tell the guys, if success for you is to only win, if that's the only barometer of success, your life is going to be hard, because life feels like you're not winning a whole lot. It's the growth and the journey that is the most important thing that these kids can get out of football and get out of their friendships together and everything. So, and I want to just to your point there, I was the 10th coach in 20 years. So it was a rapid cycle to a lot of people there for a while, and it took a while to stop that cyclone of change. There had not been an establishment of culture, establishment of routine. It was just something different every single year. And that was a tough thing to turn around. That was probably the hardest part of the job when I first took it, was just to establish a culture and an identity and some history, because it was all lost in the cycle of coaches. So that really was the challenge and the fun.
Coach, you commented in an interview earlier this year about the need for speed, power, and agility, and of course, every football coach would like to have those things. But what's your agenda in outlining those specifically? How do you approach that?
So for us, we've really transitioned over to the Feed the Cats. I don't know if you've ever heard of Feed the Cats, but it's a brand of sprint football that a guy that he's really a famous track coach, and I've really adopted that with the GPS systems that we use at practice. We really monitor speed, player load, what our kids are doing every day. We want to keep our guys fresh and healthy. All right, that we have some two-way players. We have guys that we only have 64 on the roster for a 6A school. That's pretty small, but we need those guys healthy. We need those guys fast. So we really developed. We really have done, I think, a great job in our off-season program, in our weight development, our strength training, and then really just using science and what everybody else. A lot of people are using the same things, but how we use our GPS systems, how we train speed. Today we got rained out a little bit, but the last part of practice we have We have speed gates, you know, that we ran flying 10s to get miles per hour. We give bands out to everybody who gets over 20 miles per hour. We give what we call truck stick to the big boys when their mass and velocity equal a certain amount. They're going to get dog tags that say the truck stick on it. So Tolly wants his dog tag, but we put a lot of emphasis on it. So you know, we train these guys, and I really do feel like I know a lot of guys develop a lot of players. I feel like at Dunbar we do a great job in developing our athletes and becoming the best kids that they can be. And you know, some kids get the chance to go to college and play that would never had a chance to even play for some of the other schools in town. And you know, I really take pride in taking what we have and making that into a really, really competitive group.
Let's bring in Tolly Carter. Tolly, a student athlete for Paul Laurence Dunbar. And Tolly, what's it like to play at such a prestigious school?
Playing at Dunbar is good, you know. Something I like about Dunbar. I probably say something I like about Dunbar is like the coaching staff. To be honest, probably say like the main thing that I honestly care about the coaching staff a lot. I definitely like how like the coaching staff definitely do like take care of us and care about us, mental health and everything. But overall, like I said, like Dunbar is like a great experience overall.
And Tolly, I'll ask you, I mean, you got new turf out there. Did they get you up to 20 miles an hour on the new turf, or how excited are you guys to be playing on the new turf field? And what's it feel like out there? And
new turf
how
is great.
excited the team?
Okay, my fault. New turf is great, to be honest. New turf is great. I'll probably say something like I definitely like about the turf. I'll probably say like less turf burn, to be honest. But yeah, I like it a lot. New turf. Yeah, love the colors. I'll probably say like probably my favorite part about the turf. I'll probably say like the POD logo. I like the white POD logo in the center. So yeah, that's like real nice.
Tolly, you've got the size to be an effective defensive lineman, but it takes so much more than that. Tell me about what goes into becoming the best defensive lineman that you can be.
Honestly, I'll probably say the best. Well, honestly, if you becoming like a really good defensive lineman, I'll probably say, be honest, like honestly, this year, I really try to focus on me getting much more faster off the ball. So basically, that was like a bunch of power cleans, speed training, and stuff like that. Coach Johnson had brought in Coach Johnson had brought in like a great defensive line coach from UK, Coach Pringle, stuff like that. And Coach Pringle definitely taught me like a lot of things this year of going to the season. So yeah.
Wes, let's take a look at your schedule, and you've got the unusual game on Saturday to start this season.
Yeah.
Walk us through that mentality.
Yeah, so I love playing in bowl games. I think that's really, really cool for the kids. I think they get a great experience, a great atmosphere in Somerset. Beautiful stadium, cool turf. They've got a massive facility going up. It's going to be unbelievable. So it's next year, actually, in the next cycle, I scheduled our first 2 games in bowl games. I just think that it's a great experience for these kids to have exposure at different parts of the state, and looking forward to that game for sure.
And then you got Lexington Catholic on the schedule. Not a lot of city public schools schedule Lexington Catholic. What is the challenge that they present? Because they're one of the top teams in Class 3A.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but I think that is it's almost a natural rival for us because so many of our kids know their kids. Last year, I felt like we played them very, very tough. I think the final score was 29-14. I thought that was competitive. We were competitive, and young. And offensively, we were struggling at that time. We became a better football team later in the year. But that game is special in a lot of ways just because of the relationships between our players and their players. You can't help. Lexington's a small town. I mean, let's be honest. And so they know each other, and there's a great friendly rivalry there. I thought it brought out the best in us last year, and looking forward to that game. That's a lot of fun.
You talked earlier about the senior players, and tell me a little bit more about the continuity that provides and how important that is to establishing your program, continuing to build but to have some good seniors who have been through your program.
Yeah, I mean, this is a group that started as freshmen and nobody left. You know what I mean? They all stuck it out. You always get a huge group of freshmen, and then through some reason or the other, you lose 10 or 12 of them to just they don't want to play anymore. They've got jobs they want to do. They move, something like that. But this group is really stuck together. They have a unique relationship in terms of their closeness. A lot of times in Lexington, I've noticed, because I coached at West Jessamine High School. That was my first head coaching job. And of course, those kids play with each other from Pee Wee leagues all the way up to senior year, and there's just a different camaraderie that goes on with that. Then with us, the challenge is getting 5 different middle schools to gel their freshman year and to become a team that you can grow with. And this group, and not all of them are from Beaumont. It's a Leestown group and some Winburn kids, and this is a group that really is diverse all the way through the city. All kinds of different middle schools came in, and they just did a great job gelling together and banding together to make this thing good.
Appreciate you stopping by, Coach Johnson and Tolly Carter.
Yes, appreciate you.
Good luck
Thanks
to you guys. Yep. See you guys soon. More coverage coming up live from Roosters. Jonathan Hawks.
Appreciate you.
Tate's Creek is in the on-deck circle. We'll hear from him next.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to pay to have the leaves raked. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due today. That means Anthony made it on time for the big game to see the home team score the winning touchdown. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
This is the velvety green turf of your lawn, where you don't just earn your stripes, you mow them. Victory is not without obstacles. Tall grass, dreaded fence line, trees to get under and around. Once we called this no man's land. Today we call it conquered. With cold, hard steel and an iron will. Go ahead, take a victory lap, 'cause it's mow day.
We know it's more than a Bragel. It's love at first bite. Big B makes it better.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
We're live at Roosters 2640 Richmond Road. The Tate's Creek conglomerate is heading our way. We'll join them next on Glycod.
You here. You by me.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to pay to have the leaves raked. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due today. That means Anthony made it on time for the big game to see the home team score the winning touchdown. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
This is the velvety green turf of your lawn, where you don't just earn your stripes, you mow them. Victory is not without obstacles: tall grass, dreaded fence line, trees to get under and around. Once we called this no man's land. Today we call it conquered, with cold hard steel and an iron will. Go ahead, take a victory lap, 'cause it's mow day.
We know it's more than a Bragel. It's love at first bite. Bigby makes it better.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Jonathan Hawks joins us next, head coach of Tates Creek. Coach, entering year number 5. What's this version look like?
I'd say year 5 looks a lot more like, just satisfaction with the program and the way we've kind of, we haven't been as successful as we have wanted to be as far as like wins and losses. But I say satisfaction because the team structure is something I hang my hat on, and these kids really embody it. They understand that, CRK really means a lot, and it's bigger than just football. We really want to impact life, and so these kids are really embodying that. And I'm very proud of how they carry themselves, not only on the football field, but even off the football field. So the satisfaction from seeing them grow as young people means more to me than the game of football. So,
Coach, I know last year had to be frustrating because it seemed like that team was ready to take us another step. It just didn't work out for you. What did you learn from that season? How do you get that to build this group?
So last year was really humbling for not only myself, but I think just for my kids in general. We kind of took that into the track season. All 3 of them, they're on my track team too. So we kind of took a lot of the frustrations from the season and just understood that it was really a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of mental lapses, not only during the games, but during the weekend practices. They're really good students. A lot of our kids do a great job in the building, but when it came to football, I just think there was a lot of distractions. I think the expectations of what people put on them as a program for last year, I think it really got to a lot of them because they were still, we were older, but just still having some young guys that was trying to understand they are an important program. They are an important team, and I think it was really hard for them to grasp that as one. So I think we've kind of taken a step away from a lot of the attention, social media, and just kind of stepped away from a lot of that stuff and really just put a lot of focus on them as individuals instead of the rest of, what people think we should be.
Coach, how do you try to use this preseason time? As time is so valuable now at this point, the game's approaching. What do you like to get done in the last 10 days to 2 weeks before you start?
Right now, we're just really paying attention to the small details. A lot of the small details has nothing to do with football. These guys come from great families, but they're great men. They've all 3 of these guys have been through something that has gotten them to this moment that they're currently in. Abe wants to go play college football. Rikus is a senior and he wants to go play high-level college football. And so we've been really, really focusing on the small details of life. And they're using those little small details to put them onto the football field. So that's, from the little things that we do, from conditioning, really putting practices together. We want to continue to stack days, and I think that's one detail that I think we have implemented in this football season.
What provides you with the most optimism this year?
This big boy right here beside me. I really put a lot on I've been saying it for the last 3 years. I think in any interview I've done, I've always said my offensive defensive line. And I've meant that. I feel like skilled guys are supposed to do their jobs because they're the skilled people, right? But offensive line doesn't get a lot of shine. Defensive line doesn't get a lot of shine unless you're making a lot of sacks, right? but just doing your job. Abe is one of those examples. He does his job. He doesn't get a lot of notoriety and recognition, but he's one of the best offensive linemen and defensive linemen in the state. And I pray that this year he gets a chance to really showcase that along with the other brothers that he has on the line.
And I'll ask AB, I mean, you go 6'3", 6'5", 6'4" across the line, all of you are like 300 pounds. I mean, you passed the eye test on the field. How do you get that to translate to moving and getting space, giving your quarterback time, giving your running back lanes?
Yeah, we're big, but we really focus on speed. So, like, when we move around the ball, it's always going to be fast movement, and we're just disciplined. We stay disciplined.
Coach, about the off season now, you come off a season. Let's see, it was 4-7 last year, and so you've got to immediately, I would think, set some goals. Maybe not specific goals, but what did you talk to the team about after the season to get these guys focused on 2026?
Right. Well, the biggest thing is these two guys being juniors and then coming into the senior year, and then Nazir was a sophomore, so I really try to give him a little grace, right? But these two guys, we had a meet right after the season, and they had nothing again. We underachieved. We all know that. We didn't sugarcoat it. We understood. We looked it in the eyes, and we were just like, let's attack this thing the way that we need to. No cameras, not a lot of attention. Let's just go to the work. Let's go to the work. That's what we know. We got a motto, grind set mentality, and it's something that we really want to live by, and not just in, high school, but in life, but outside of Tates Creek High School. So we just went to the grind, and we've been hustling and working hard, and these two guys will be an example of that because, again, the small details of what's got to really show, and I think the work mindset is what we really live by, and I just think that that's kind of what we've done, locked ourselves in the cave and just really try to get to the work.
Barry, and as you get set for this season, how have you most challenged yourself here to get ready for this year?
Staying disciplined to the weight room, always showing up, making sure my guys are showing up, never giving up, playing until the whistle, actually until after the whistle. Just making sure we're all together as one. The main thing.
Coach, you've had a multiple attack offense through the years. You had a quarterback who could run through the years. What is this offense going to look with Ace Davis, Caleb Murphy, DJ Carter? How is this offense going to make those connections and get those yards?
Yeah, like Abe said, we got size, but one thing we always hang our hat on is speed. So we'll be a lot more, disciplined in our speed this year. We'll try to utilize it to get the ball out of Ace's hands and allow him to get the ball to the athletes. I actually get a chance to coach this year. I feel like I haven't been able to actually coach football the last 3 years. So I get a chance to kind of put my name in there a little bit and really try to get some of these guys the ball and really try to get them in space to allow their speed to really showcase. I think Ace does a great job getting that ball out of his hands as quick as he can, and I think Ace is it won't be a surprise to us because I think we get a chance to see him, but I think it'll be a surprise to a lot of people who haven't seen him play. Ace is a really good quarterback, and I think he's an even greater person. So I think this year is going to be huge for him along with the rest of his guys.
Let me ask Rikus and Nazir a question, but Rikus, first of all, let me start with you. Wide receiver and safety, a lot of challenges involved in both of those positions, a lot of speed involved, but it's so much more than speed. Let's start with the wide receiver position. What can you do to become a better wide receiver, and what have you worked on in the offseason?
In the offseason, I just worked on perfecting my craft, making sure I'm getting everything right, staying on top of myself, just making the small things right.
Yeah, a lot of detail, isn't it? You got to pay attention to detail in football. Nazir, same positions set for you, right? Wide receiver and safety, and I'll ask you about the defensive responsibilities because you're the last man a lot of times. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with safety. How have you grown as a defensive player?
I say I really.
It's a matter of studying a lot of video, or how does?
Yeah, I be watching myself from last year's film, and I use that and perfect what I couldn't perfect last year, and I put it to this year in the off season. And when it's game time.
And if you have a guy that you know is a real threat on the other team, is that something you get up for, knowing that
I'm always up for the challenge. It's just more calm. Make a name for myself. That's how I see it.
Coach Jared and I talked about your schedule before you guys sat down. It's pretty daunting, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
What I like about it is the same thing I told them 2 years ago when I knew that we were going to have to play the schedule for 2 years. Let's go. I mean, nobody gave us credit when we was 3-0, and I thought we played some really good teams 2 years ago, and nobody, kind of blinked an eye at that. It's almost like we needed to beef up our schedule. So I told them it's time to take on the challenges. Let's get to a place where people can respect that we really work hard just like everybody else. And yeah, the schedule is daunting, but I'm not afraid of work, and I'm not afraid of what we got to go up against. I'm from Georgia, and like in Georgia, we play against the best. And, my high school, Gainesville, we got a lot of good talent around us. So I'm like, why be afraid to go against talent whenever you know that you work just like everybody else does? So, we come out the gate with Woodford County, and like I told them, we can't hide. They're going to be a really good team, and we just need to go out there and do what we've been training to do. And we'll take whatever we need to take and do what we need to do to get prepared for that. But that schedule, I love it, because it challenges my kids to step up.
I mean, yeah, Frederick Douglass, Bryan Station, Ryle, that's a sequence right there.
That's right. Hey, look, I look at it like this. In that first year, I got that first one against Mercer County, and then it went from, Frederick Douglass to, Mason County. I think they was a 9-win team that year, and then it went right into Woodford County, and then it went to Bryan Station. And then I think we went to Lexington Catholic at the year. So I don't think it's ever been easy for me. I think more than anything, it's just been challenging. But my kids have stepped up. We've had 8-win seasons out of these last 4 years and 5 years. So I'm excited for them to step up and do what they need to do. Like I said, we kind of locked ourselves in the cave and know what's ahead of us. And, they're not going to back down, and I'm not going to back down. That's not my personality.
Coach, I know you like to talk about how much the game of football has meant to you. It's so much more than what these guys accomplish on the field. Right. You want to see more from them, but it helped you as well. Take just a minute and talk about what it's meant to you.
Well, it means a lot. I'm currently in a role of a school counselor. Finally, back at the middle school, so now I'm on campus with my kids, and it means a lot because now, outside of just counseling my kids in football, it gives me a chance to counsel the whole entire community, that we live in. Because now some of these elementary school kids are coming up. I'll get a chance to see them be in middle school, and a lot of them see me as the football coach at the high school. But now that they're getting to know me as a counselor, and now that these, my guys, they know me as a man, but they also know me as a coach that really cares. We don't ever really talk about football. I think football is kind of like the last thing we talk about. Football has changed my life. It helped me become the man I am. And I just try to pour my heart into them as a man first, and then as a coach, they just know that they're gonna get the best out of me as a fiery guy. I'm competitive. I hide it a little bit, but I ain't gonna lie, they know I'm competitive.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Sir.
Thanks for bringing the student athletes.
Yes, sir.
All the best to you guys this season. John Lawson is up next. He's the head coach of Lafayette. We'll chat with Coach in just a moment. You're watching Glycott.
Want to stop vaping? It takes less time to get help than it does to skip this video. Text START MY QUIT to 36072. No pressure. Get free, confidential help to quit vaping.
This message was furnished by the Bourbon County Health Department.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to pay to have the leaves raked. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due today. That means Anthony made it on time for the big game to see the home team score the winning touchdown. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
At Central Equipment, we're a family. And that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers.
Through the quality brands that we represent.
With the parts and service that we offer.
With one main focus of making sure you,
our customers, leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family.
So we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle. You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
John Lawson and Player will join us in just a couple of moments. We'll step aside. More coverage coming up. We're live at Roosters on Glycod.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Central Kentucky, don't be afraid of your pool water. Talk to the experts at Suntine Pools, your BioGuard dealer. For over 50 years, our reputation has made us the company of choice for all your pool needs. Visit our store for a full line of BioGuard products, equipment, and accessories. Have your swimming pool sparkling in no time. Visit Suntine Pools today.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle. Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
We know it's more than a teddy bear latte. It's how you roll. Big B makes it better.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
John Lawson from Lafayette High School will join us next. John, this is an interesting year for you guys. You start out with that big doubleheader at home, and what do you look for in that opening week?
I look for a very challenging game with North Oldham. I think my guys are just ready to respond. We've been working really hard since July 10th, since we've been back, so I'm just excited to see the fruits of our labor and see what we're going to do next with it.
Coach, in your 5 seasons with Lafayette, you've gotten them to be, from winless to competitive in your district. How do you get them to take the next step and win a playoff game, move further in 6A?
I believe it's to continue to make sure they understand their purpose. I expressed a lot this year how purpose is powerful. And so when you get to the point where the coach is where you need it to be, the discipline is where it needs to be, accountability and all the things that you want as a coach, next thing is you just got to make sure they understand their purpose. And if they understand why they show up every day and come to work and do what they need to do, the rest of it kind of takes care of itself. But I think the biggest thing to learn from last year is just we have to learn how to make plays at the right times to win those games. We were very close in a couple games, States Creek in particular, where we were right there in that game the entire time and had a chance to win. I think sometimes my Achilles heel would be the fact that I'm going to my 5th year and I'm going to my 5th different quarterback. And so we have a lot of growing pains throughout the season to kind of make that work. And so as we continue to progress, they get better, but if we still make those mistakes at the wrong times, and sometimes it could cost us a game, but hopefully with a little bit more experienced group today, this year, and I'm talking mainly with my skill guys because I still have a first-year quarterback, hopefully they'll compensate for that.
Coach, you've talked about having a player-led team. What does that mean at the high school level, and particularly at Lafayette?
I've been preaching that since day one. The importance of a team that is owned by themselves is how you grow. So every year, you challenge the seniors just a little bit more on what they do as far as their expectations, how they respond, how their mannerisms are, how they lead, how they talk to other players. And so I felt like the culture now has gotten to a place where these guys are very vocal, the ones that can be, and the other ones that aren't vocal, they just lead by doing the right thing and the actions on the field. So, with this group of seniors that are now going on their fourth year with me but have been around for a while, just because even with Jesse Clark, they understand the process of leading. And because they do understand that, every day at practice is pretty much owned by the team. And, I have to step in every now and then, but for the most part, it's their job and they do it very well.
John, you mentioned 5 years and 5 quarterbacks. What is that like, and what is challenge does that pose for you?
Every challenge is possible. I mean, we've had some very talented guys. We've had some very athletic guys. I think schematically it's just a matter of them getting time to be able to read a defense at the right time. And so the more we rep that out at practice, and I will say with my new D coordinator, he's really challenging our quarterbacks because he's really challenging our secondary. And it's also helping that quarterback really see things even when they're not there. And so as we continue to progress with that, we just have to get the reps. They need to continue to see it because, again, I have an athletic guy. He throws pretty well. Just sometimes we get caught up thinking we see one thing, but it's really another. And as long as we can read those and make plays at those right times, we're going to be okay.
So you're talking about an athletic guy. So who is the quarterback?
So Tristan Simpson is our guy. So he played linebacker for us last year as well as running back. He was hurt for part of the year, so we didn't get a lot of action with him. But he does become that dual threat guy as well, kind of like we had with Kondo last year. So he has a little bit more experience than Kondo did. He's been around the game a little bit longer. But yes, he gives us a great chance, and we may be a guy that plays both ways sometimes too, because we're just at that level right now where we need our best guys on the field all the time.
And then I know you got a couple of guys back who are, run and pass or catch guys like J.J. Richardson and Harrison Stevens. What do they need to do to help your new quarterback?
Catch the ball. No, seriously. I mean, if they realize that he's still trying to understand the routes and the speed of the game and his position, they have to alter what they do a little bit so he can get caught up. And so far, they've done a really good job of making that happen for him. So if the throw's a little bit off, JJ will still make that play. If the throw's a little bit off, Jackson will still make that play. And Harrison is just that guy anyway, so he's always going to present himself well and do the right thing. But they just really need them by helping them making those plays when we need them.
Coach, I was going to ask you about Jackson Grants because the numbers that he has are such an unusual set of numbers because he's a standout for you on offense, had 19 catches last year. He had 90 tackles on defense, a couple of interception returns, and one for a touchdown. But he's also the place kicker, 23 out of 27 on extra points and kicked a 48-yard field goal for you. That sounds like the old days from the NFL when Paul Hornung or somebody would step out there and kick the ball and after running it in for a touchdown. But it's an unusual set of numbers for an athlete today.
It really is. And so with that guy, he is an athlete. We'll label him that guy. And we've been very blessed to have a guy that could produce in so many different ways on the football team for us. We tried to find a way to get him off the field and get him a rest. You know what I'm saying? Because he does a lot. Those 97 tackles or whatever he had last year came after, some of them came after he kicked the ball off and went down and made the tackle, sometimes on the kickoff. But he's that leader that I guess I was telling you guys about earlier, that he doesn't necessarily have to say a whole lot, but unless you can outperform that guy, you got to try to keep up with him. And so because he produces in so many different ways and so many different levels with the team, I think it just really works out for us, and he's going to have a great year for us this year.
I guess I'm hoping that at least a few people remember who Paul Hornung was, but he was a big star in the NFL in the 60s, and he was the place kicker as well.
I was kind of like, I don't know that guy.
Do it all, yeah. Now you know.
Coach, let's take a look at your schedule, and you got a lot of home games this year. I would think that has to be optimistic for you.
Oh, absolutely. You always want to win at home. I mean, you want to win all the time, but having that home field advantage sometimes, and the crowd and the fans there definitely helps us a lot of times. And so, we kind of flipped the schedule from last year, and the fact that we don't have 5 or 6 home games is just a beautiful thing to look at and look forward to. I think the energy is better with the guys when that happens. They really feed off everything around that atmosphere when it does happen. So I'm looking forward to, going undefeated at home and having some really big wins and letting these guys enjoy their senior year and moving forward.
Coach, your schedule is challenging. I mean, there's some good teams from some lower divisions. I mean, what's your philosophy on that? Because you are taking on, West Jessamine had its best season ever last year, like in school history. But then you got, Coach Hawk over there scheduling Ryle and Douglas and Bryan Station when he doesn't have to schedule Douglas and Bryan.
Right.
It's like, what's the dynamic? What are you looking for when you make your schedule?
So when I make my schedule, I really try to figure out where my team is mentally. I know people all talks about iron sharpens iron. I do agree to an extent that is a thing, but you have to be in a place where your team can build confidence as they win, as they play. If you get out there and you're playing teams that are completely destroying you in every level, you tend to lose players, one, you get injured players, two, and then when the confidence goes to the toilet, then it's really hard to regain that. So as a coach, you want to put them in a position where they can be successful. And so as long as we're scheduling games that challenge them and they can be successful in, and we can, have just as good a chance to win as anybody that's on the field that day, we want to keep presenting with those until we get to the point where we were back in 16 and 17, where the guys are out and we can play anybody at any time and anywhere. So I'm still building that culture and that mindset for these young guys.
Coach, tell us a little bit about your staff. Who do you work with to make that Lafayette football program go?
Yeah, so, just like the players, coaches like opening up a box of chocolates every year, I mean, there's new guys all the time, but I do have some returning coaches from years past. Ashton Bailey, he's my assistant head coach, my offensive coordinator. He's been there for the last couple of years. I also have Jason Ferguson. He came back as my D coordinator. He was my D coordinator 3 years ago. He played at EKU. He definitely brings a different type of intensity. And we also brought back Logan Kendrick as our D-line coach. Coach Brown, he's been with us for a couple years now. His kids actually play at Woodford, but he works in the building with us. He's a great defensive coach. So as far as my defensive staff, I mean, we're about as solid as you can be, even with the young guys that we have. Coach Level's going on his 3rd year with us. He's a great young coach that's producing a lot for us, and he's going to be a great head coach one of these days. And then we got a couple younger guys that we've brought in here recently that are just going to help the program out.
The district that you're in, John, it's a lot of parity, right? I mean, you put all 4 in a hat. How do you see it shaking out this year?
My thoughts and philosophy is we checking out number 1. It's our job and our understanding that we win district this year. The goal every year is to progress closer and closer to that point. And I feel like every year we've done that. We went from being last to 3rd to 2 years of being 2nd. We just need to bring it all together this year and hopefully take over where, Sage Creek has won it for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and what's the challenge with you guys? I know you're talking about that mentality. It's like a lot of times when I see the city teams and things start going wrong, that tends to spiral into things, and kind of the sideline goes sideways and stuff like that. I haven't really seen that from Lafayette. You guys have been able to keep your heads up. How are you able to do that week in and week out?
So not only do I preach it, I have to show it. And I have to encourage my coaches to do the same thing. So one of my biggest philosophies is if something goes wrong on the field, it is not our job to yell at the referees, yell at the other players, or anything like that. We understand that we can't control everything that goes on in the game. So what we do is we play the next play. It's going to be okay. We deal with adversity. We're going to go ahead and play the next play. So as long as I keep portraying that and mentoring that to these kids, as well as my coaches, that it's never over until it's over, and we always fight to the end, which I felt like we have shown that over the years that we've gotten better and better at. It's the energy that you provide them on the sideline every Friday night. So if I go and believe in 100% that we're going to play our hardest till the very end, they will do the same for me. And I think, I've got these guys for 4 years now. They understand me. They understand the culture. They understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. And one thing we don't do is give up.
Coach, you're down to just a matter of days now of preseason preparation left. Anything unexpected come up in the preseason work so far? And then also a second question following that is what's at the top of the list in these final few days?
I shouldn't be surprised, but, the fact that players drop off, unfortunately, has been a big thing. We're probably at our lowest numbers we've had since I've been the head coach. But guys are going to either other sports, staying with those home sports that they want to play with, or I've lost a couple of guys to transfers. And so, again, with that being challenging, I also have the mindset of I'm going to coach and love the kids that are there. And so whoever shows up, I'm going to take care of. And so, numbers a little bit lower. Depth is not, like it was like maybe last year. But the guys that we have out there in ones and twos for the most part are solid. But with that being said, I think the next step for us is to find out where we are this Friday when we play Sarah. Find out where we are when we play Lex Cath next week. Two very well-coached teams. Both have very good offenses that we have to really understand what we need to do as a defense to manage that team, those teams, and then play within ourselves. Because one of the things we told them today is it's not about the other team's helmet and who we're playing. Halftime, I don't know who we're playing, and I'm not being funny when I say that because my focus is so much on my team and what we need to do that, it's Friday night, we're playing somebody, but we're going to play our best football regardless. So to continue to build that mindset for the guys for the next couple of days and make sure that we're doing that every day at practice and all the scrimmages moving into that first bowl game is next on our list to do to make sure we get there.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. That's John Lawson, head coach of Lafayette. We've got LCA Oakley Watkins and also Brian Station to come. More coverage coming up from Roosters right after this.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
First responders do the incredible. They help save lives. And so can you by donating at CSL Plasma. Your plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines. And you can be rewarded for your generosity. Every plasma donation can do so much for so many. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate plasma today at your local CSL Plasma Center.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
We'll check in. Quentin Bryant is here. He is a Lafayette student athlete, an offensive lineman for the Generals. What are you most excited about this year, Quentin?
Well, I don't know. Last year I came off an injury, so I got injured last year. So this year I'm really excited to coming back from an injury. I think we've got a really good team. We lost a lot of seniors last year, but I think just building off of especially our offensive line. I think we only had 2 seniors on the offensive line last year, so I think this year it's like all seniors on the O-line. We've been playing with each other for 4 years now. We've got great chemistry, so I'm most excited about that. It was really painful. I think it was about 4 or 5 games in last year. I had to call it quits on last season. Tore my meniscus, but I've been rehabbing, and I'm really excited to just get back and playing with my brothers that I've been on the offensive line for past 4 years.
What's it like playing for this guy? I mean, how does he let you know that you've messed up? Is it right in your face, or is it subtle? What's he do?
No, he'll let you know. He'll let you know. He's no stranger to making us run up downs, gassers, monster miles, running on the bleachers and around the track. He's really high energy though. That's our big thing. We never want to start out practice slow, just like a game. You never want to start out slow. We always, even during warm-ups, we're bringing the energy. We're loud. Just get juices flowing.
Quentin, I wanted to ask you about just playing the offensive line. Your coaches obviously know how important that is to the success of a team, and most fans know that the offensive line is a vital part of it. At the same time, it's not one of the positions you're probably not going to score the winning touchdown, but it's something you really have to dedicate yourself to. How have you done that through your years playing football? What appeals to you about that?
I think that a lot of us know we're not getting the glory, and it's that's like football's a team sport. Everybody's got to be selfless, but I think nobody knows that more than us, and so that's that mentality of we have to do our job so the quarterback can score, so the quarterback can make passes, give him time to throw, make lanes for the running back. I think everybody's just bought in. Last year we had a kind of a disappointing season in terms of the year before we went 6-5, then last year we dropped a game, we went 5-6. So I think it's a mentality thing. I think at the end of the day.
Guys, thanks so much. That's Quentin Bryant and John Lawson. Good luck to you guys this year.
Thank you.
LCA, the defending state champions. They'll join us next. You're watching the Central Kentucky High School football preview from Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
Anthony is using Community Trust Bank's mobile banking with Zelle to pay to have the leaves raked. His part of the big lunch meeting and the birthday gift for the niece that was due today. That means Anthony made it on time for the big game to see the home team score the winning touchdown. Mobile banking with Zelle at Community Trust Bank. Fast, easy, and secure.
Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
This is the velvety green turf of your lawn, where you don't just earn your stripes, you mow them. Victory is not without obstacles, tall grass, dreaded fence line, trees to get under and around. Once we called this no man's land. Today we call it conquered. With cold, hard steel and an iron will. Go ahead, take a victory lap, 'cause it's mow day.
We know it's more than a Bragel. It's love at first bite. Big B makes it better.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Oakley Watkins is in the batter's box. The defending state champion from LCA, the head coach. And Oakley certainly last year, hard to top what you guys did last year. What's it been like the last 12 months?
It's been exciting. I mean, for us, took over as head coach in February, and I've got a great relationship with our previous head coach, Doug Charles. I was actually just with him. He's coaching our 5th and 6th grade youth team right now. So the transition from that was exciting. Wasn't a big change just because he was still around, which was really special, and I was fortunate to have that. But to get to see our kids really experience what they got to experience last year, which faced a lot of adversity early on. We were 1-3, had 9 starters out with injury, and getting to see those kids respond to that was pretty special. We always talk about football as a microcosm of life with adversity that you face, and these kids really rose to the occasion. And to see them come together as a team and be player-led, and it really was all about those guys. And getting to win the big one was really special for this group. And now, I mean, it's back to work, and that's the thing. We're battling some complacency, and that's something we talk about on a daily basis, is just falling in love with the process and not what the end goal is. So that's really what our daily focus has been the last 6 to 7 months, is been just that. So, and these guys have really responded. We got 2 great senior leaders here that kind of understand that. We've used the phrase December habits because we want to fall in love with daily habits and doing the things right the first time on a daily basis, and not just focusing on what the end goal is. Because if you fall in love with that, most years you're not going to have a great year if that's what you focus on.
Coach, when the Herald Leader preseason poll comes out next week, Lexington Christian is going to be number 1 in Class 2A. Probably be that way for the CJ as well. You've been an offensive coordinator when LCA has been an overwhelming preseason number 1. How did those teams handle those expectations? How do you think this team will handle those expectations?
Yeah, we've got a great senior class, and we've started our senior leadership sessions all the way back in February, where we would get together at 7 a.m. at Chick-fil-A and talk about just these things. Like, we knew that there was going to be a little bit of a target on our back, especially having reached our goal last year of winning a state championship. But really, for us, like, we've been a team that's been at the top, and it's not been done before. We walked the hallways at our senior retreat, or our team retreat, on Saturday morning at 6 a.m., and we stopped at the trophy case, and we showed them, like, it's never been done here that anybody's ever won back-to-back. So it's hard to do, and there's a reason for that. So we've got a lot of different humbling experiences that we've done for these guys to remind them, like, just because everybody's telling you that you're great and you've had these things happen, like, there are other people that don't think you're that great. It's like, I mean, you look at 2A, how deep it is. I mean, 2A is an extremely talented class that I don't think a lot of people give enough credit to. And you look at Beechwoods, bring back Noel Rash, and they've got one of their most talented rosters that they've had in a really, really long time. And You look at Mayfield and Owensboro Catholic and Somerset, and Coach Stonebreaker at Danville's done a fantastic job, and Belfry, like that class, like nothing's promised. I mean, we were just fortunate to be healthy when it mattered and have a couple things go our way. So we know like we're gonna have to play really, really good football if we're gonna really live up to that ranking.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about, of course, coming off a championship. Obviously, that's winning the last game of the season is something that only a handful of teams do. So you've got a different step in moving toward the next season, and as you said, have to fight a little complacency sometimes. But at the same time, that seems like something that players really have to help you with. I mean, that's not something you can't just will them to focus on the next season. Do you feel like you've got you'll ask them about that too, but have you got the buy-in on that?
100%. We talk about with our senior class mutual alignment, and it's the small details with those guys. We talk about being servant leaders in our program. And again, we don't talk about championships much. They don't hear me use that phrase or that word really at all. And the reason for that is we want to just focus on being servant leaders and doing things right off the field. And like these guys already, we've been 3 or 4 weeks into camp. Like they as seniors, our seniors clean our locker room on a weekly basis to set that expectation and show our younger players what the expectation on a daily basis is, just to do things right. And that takes a lot of humble, like to be humble as a senior, and that's something that's been really cool to see those guys step into that role already. So cleaning the locker room, they help our freshmen load the shed after practice in terms of taking our practice equipment off the field. So that lets these guys pour into our younger players. And again, it's humbling as a senior when you've got a mop in the locker room and you're mopping and sweeping and doing those things. But these guys are doing it with such a smile on their face. And I think that when you talk about complacency is showing them like doing these little things right on a daily basis like last year's senior class did. That's what's going to make the difference for us. So it's been a test so far for them, but the mutual alignment, like they're never going to make a decision as a senior class that they all don't agree on, because I don't want people to be able to poke holes in that. So they're going to have spirited conversations about things we do as a program. Like tomorrow for practice, we're wearing black shorts and blue T-shirts for our walkthrough. They picked that. That was not me as a coach, because if I'm making those decisions and my voice is heard more than theirs, we're not going to be very good. And they've done a really good job taking ownership and being senior leaders this year.
Hopefully you brought Conrad and Sam with you. Just describe what they mean to this program.
Yeah, they're they're just special guys. I mean, Conrad, I'll start with him because he's right here next to me. Conrad, when he was a freshman in our program, he was starting cornerback on our junior varsity team, and we had him at Wildcat quarterback. And to see him grow into a 6'5", 235-pound Power 4 commit has been really, really cool. But you look at his body and how it's changed. I think that's a testament to the work that he's put in and how important the game of football is to him. But, I mean, both these guys getting to Sam, like Sam came in and wanted to play quarterback, and now he's turned himself into being one of the best receivers in the state. He's going to play football at Ohio University. Had an opportunity. He was committed to play baseball at Virginia Tech. So if you're able to play Division I in both of those sports, he's 11th Region Player of the Year. But both those guys have just unbelievable families, which I think is another piece. You talk about the Together We Win mantra we have in our program. Like, these guys are a walking image of that. They're both Scout Team Players of the Week as freshmen, have a great home life that they've been raised the right way, and you see that in the way that they approach each day. So to see them in the senior role, having come from being Scout Team Players of the Week as a freshman to where they are now, it's a great example that these two guys set for our younger players. So I'm excited to see them in the senior role and watch them turn some heads this year.
And for Conrad, I mean, last year, I think during the early part of the season, you were doing the grunt end of the tight end work. I mean, not a lot of catches for you, and then you caught some late. One of the jokes we have at the Herald Leader is we don't have any photographs of you doing anything for LCA because you were blocking and opening lanes and stuff, and you caught a touchdown in the state final, and we missed it. So what is your mindset going into this year? How much bigger part of the offense are you going to be? I know you're already a considerable part, but are you going to get the ball some more?
Yes, sir. You know, that's always the goal. But honestly, for me, I've always been a guy that doesn't really, strive for like the stats and, trying to be. I just try to be the best version of myself, and for the team, I just try and do what's best for the team. And if that was blocking, if that's running routes, anything, I just try and do what's best for the team. And I'm a team player at the end of the day. Yes, sir.
Let me ask Sam a question, and you're both, of course, going to see a lot of action on both sides of the ball. That's part of it at LCA. And tell me about the challenge in doing that, to prepare for the games, and then, of course, to be in the kind of condition it takes to be on the field most of the time. How do you approach that challenge?
Obviously, today we had a lot of conditioning today, which is good. So each and every single day at the end of practice, we do gassers, which helps us a lot. And really in practice, we go both ways. We don't really have like a set offensive or defensive day. We split it up into offense and defense both days, so it gets us conditioned during practice so that on the field it's just like a practice, and we're already conditioned for every game.
I always admire the dedication of guys who can do that, and in your case for two sports. But tell me about what that's like. I mean, you get up in the morning, you can't always feel like working out. How do you make yourself do it at a level that you need to do it?
Sleep is really important. I have a thing that tracks my sleep, so I know that I get good recovery each and every single night. And eating healthy. Our coach always harps on us that we don't want to eat poor before practice or anything, so that our bodies will be healthy and prepared for a practice or a game.
I asked Coach to describe you guys. Well, you describe what's it like to play for Coach.
It's amazing. I think he's the best coach in the state by far. He's helped us so much grow as leaders and as people, and he's even a better person off the field. And he really connects with the kids, and he makes sure that everyone has a purpose and is known on the field, and that nobody's left behind, and that always keep God first.
Yeah, also to piggyback off what Sam said, Coach Oakley has been obviously, I think, the greatest coach I've ever had in this sport. He kind of like mentored me, and he's been like another like father figure for me, like on the football field. And outside of being playing on the field, recruitment wise, he's given me all the tools and all the opportunities to make myself be known out there, and showing my film out there, and just doing everything he could to get me seen around coaches. And I couldn't thank him enough for that. But yeah, other than that, Coach Oakley he puts his heart and soul into this football program, and we gotta play for him and do this for him.
Guys, I know last year it started out rough. You lost your quarterback after the first week of the season, and then I don't think you would have been picked to beat Belfry even at home. Owensboro Catholic felt like a huge favorite going in there. This year, the tables are turned a little bit. You guys are going to be favored most weeks. How do you going to approach it differently, or how do you see yourselves handling this situation?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't. I think we're going to approach it, the same as we did last year. We always classify ourselves as the underdogs. There's still rankings that you see on the media now and we're behind Owensboro Catholic, behind Beechwood. We're always going to stay humble, and like we talk about this as a team, December habits. Take it one play at a time. Don't get our too head over heels, and yeah.
Both of you have. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
One thing I'd say is I think we take things day by day, and we don't worry so much about the other team and who they have, and we worry about our team and who's our family and what we can do. And we never have any doubt on anybody who we play, because a lot of people underestimate us because we're 2A, but we can still compete with all the big dogs. So, yeah.
I wanted to ask both of you. You have bright futures in sports coming up after high school, but you got this year to focus on, and you're playing with your teammates. We had several guys express the thought that football is such a brotherhood. What's it mean to you to get ready for this senior season, playing this final year with this group of teammates?
It's really exciting, but at the same time, you want to take, like I said, everything day by day and focus on the present, because I know everything moves really fast as a senior, and you want to enjoy the moments and work hard, and don't worry about the future and what's ahead, and know that God has that plan for you, and focus on the moment and what you have.
Yeah. So like what Sam was saying, time flies. I remember like it was yesterday. Me and Sam were just two freshmen, looking up to Cutter Boley, Brady Hensley, the seniors in 2023 when we were there. I'm just grateful of all the blessings that God has given me to, pursue this football dream. And this season, I'm just hoping it's going to be the best season.
Coach, let's take a quick look at your schedule. What stands out for you?
Yeah, obviously the first 5 games are and this is the same. We just finished our 27-28 schedule. We're going to play the best teams we possibly can play. You look at 6A North Hardin week 1. Coach Thompson does a great job there. Always has high-level talent, super athletic, very diverse from an offensive standpoint. They like to throw it around the yard, so we're going to be tested there. Then you go week 2 is Pulaski County, who I think is going to be even better than they were last year, and they were in the 5A state title game. Then you play a Cal team that a lot of people last year thought was the best team all classes, and brings back 2 top 100 players in the country, which tells you all you need to know about that bunch. And Coach Cantwell does a great job. And then Franklin County that's where I went to school. Got a lot of respect for those guys and what Coach James does there. And then our rival Lexington Catholic, that's always a big time game. And Coach Clark's done a fantastic job over there as well. So last year we went out of that first 5 games 2-3, and I was the first time head coach, and a lot of people had questions. But for me, you learn a lot about your team playing a schedule like that. We're not going to learn a lot about ourselves playing a schedule that doesn't really get you excited early in the first couple games. So it's something we do that purposefully, and it positioned ourselves last year to where we didn't have to travel on the road too. So being able to bookend it with another 6A team of PRP really helped us in terms of being able to host instead of making a long trip to Mayfield. So we're hoping that this year we're able to position ourselves to be able to really host in the playoffs. That's really what the goal is. We kind of break it into 3 phases, which our first phase is that first 5 games, and then we look at it, our district schedule, which our district schedule this year is going to be much better as well. Du Bois has continued to improve each and every year, and then Danville last year was, Coach Steinberger did a fantastic job there, and they've got some young freshmen that played. They started a bunch of freshmen that are now a year older. I don't know, he's really excited about that bunch too. So our schedule is this was probably our most difficult schedule we've had here in the last 4 or 5 years, just based on how strong our district schedule is going to be as well.
Yeah, and Cal has been so dominant in 3A that he's given all the private schools. We're not going to blame Cal for it, but KHS Blaze added the multiplier, so you're probably going to go up in class next year. Cal's going to go up in class next year. But LCA is one of the only teams that can beat Cal over the last 4 years. I think you beat them 2 or 3 times in this championship run they've had in 3A. How many coaches are calling you about Cal every week? It's got to be considerable.
Yeah, honestly, it's not. I think as coaches, the coaching community is so tight that, there's some that have called and asked questions and asked for our tape from past years. And I've got a great relationship with Coach Cantwell, too. So, there's no real secrets in the coaching community as it goes. 2-3 years ago, we ran a completely different defense just specifically for them. Coach Paul Raines was our defense coordinator at that point. We ran a shark defense, which was a little different. I know that's something Coach Cantwell, he works that regularly now just because we had defensive linemen lined up off the ball. Because he does such, what they do offensively is just a nightmare to prepare for. He's one of the best to call it. And when you've got players like he's got too, it's tough to prepare for. So, yeah.
Coach, what's the biggest decision left before opening of the season? What's the biggest thing that you and your staff have to work out with this team before you kick it off for good?
Yeah, I think for us, honestly, it's just been, I've used the phrase genuine connection with our staff quite a bit in terms of our players and our staff. And I think it's not really a decision we've got to make. It's just how do we kind of on a daily basis continue to challenge these guys to where we are building that genuine connection. Because I think one thing for me last year that was really cool was I'm not a yeller. I'm just not a screamer. I'm not somebody that is the old school mentality of just you got to be out there all the time. We're very much a less is more, build connection with our players, and do it through connection and not just coming down on people all the time. We want to build guys up. And I feel like last year was really cool for us to be able to experience that, because it's, to me, the standard of excellence when you have that genuine connection with your teammate, when you look next to them and you know who your brother out there is, like truly know who they are, it's easier to bring them up to that standard. So for us, it's just those decisions of, on a daily basis, how do we push these guys to continue to build that connection more than anything else? Because we return a lot. I mean, depending on how you look at it, we're returning 7 or 8 guys on both sides of the ball. Our line of scrimmage, we lost some key pieces up there in terms of Logan Mays is playing at Navy. We've got a D tackle, Jackson Ramsey, that's playing at Thomas More. And then we had 2 offensive tackles in Holden Kleiber and Brody Adams that are playing at Center College. So when you lose 4 guys on the interior at a size school of ours, like, that's obviously going to be a question mark. But every year in high school football brings those kind of questions. So for me, it's more about how do we continue to build this team from a connection standpoint, morale, to where we're ready to go when it matters here on August 21st.
LCA, thank you so much for joining us.
Yep. Thank you all.
It's Oakley Watkins, Santa Fe student-athletes. We'll check in with Bryan Station. Coach Haskins will join us next on Glycon.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
First responders do the incredible. They help save lives. And so can you by donating at CSL Plasma. Your plasma donation can help create 24 critical life-saving medicines. And you can be rewarded for your generosity. Every plasma donation can do so much for so many. Do the amazing. Help save lives. Donate plasma today at your local CSL Plasma Center.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Up next, JT Haskins Sr. of Bryan Station will join us. Coach, a lot of excitement surrounding you guys entering this season. How do you feel about things?
I feel pretty good. Got a good group of seniors coming in. That's going to lead us hopefully to the promised land.
Coach, I got to ask you, it's been a few weeks now since the lightning strike moment. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Still a little sore in my rib area, but other than that, staying hydrated and just taking it day by day.
I mean, the way you described it to me, like when you went down to your knee, it's like, did you come up with any superpowers, anything? It sounded like a superhero moment to me.
Well, leading these young men, I think it's enough superpower within itself.
Coach, we're glad you're here with us, and that all is well after that, because that was quite surprising news to hear that.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Thank you. Well, let's talk a little football now. You got coming up on this opening night. Where do you think things are right now? As you meet with your coaches, what's the tone of the meeting?
Tone meeting, we're trying to stay positive. I think we headed in the right direction. We opened up Friday night with LCA, Coach Oakley and his guys. It's going to be real battle tested for us. They're a good program, we're a good program, so we're just going to, take it play by play.
Your second year as a head coach, but a long tenured as an assistant. How maybe more prepared are you now, year two, reflective of last year?
Very well more prepared now. Just having that first year of experience, trying to get experience and adapted to being a head coach. Where I was basically just a defensive coordinator, so I was just basically geared towards everything with the defense. So just make sure that we're clicking on all cylinders on offense, special teams as well. So really looking forward to this year for year two for me.
Last year you kind of got into a situation where you felt like you had to put Jordan in at quarterback. He's back at wide receiver DB. How do you feel like your offense is going to be run now? Is CJ's back at quarterback, you think? How do you think he's matured? And how do you think your offense is going to run?
CJ's going to help us out tremendously. Last year was his first year actually playing varsity. So when you guys first seen him, it was like his first couple of snaps in the varsity game. I think with the year under his belt, he's been in the weight room. He's working out with Walker Wood. So he's getting excellent training. Just got to put it all together and prepare us for Friday nights.
Coach, when I think of Bryan Station, I think of big plays. You have had some big play athletes through the years. Of course, Jordan is one of those too. But can we look for more of that? We're going to see some highlights from the defenders.
Oh yeah, we got plenty of playmakers on our team this year. That's for sure.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Like you said, we got Jordan Haskins. We've got Jamel Gibson, Braden Payne, Marcellus Ashford, a couple of dynamic running backs, Raymond Young, as well as Jeremiah Turner, who's come in. And on the defense side of the ball, we got Sean Taylor. He's going to bring a lot of excitement in the back end for the secondary as well. We just got a bunch of guys that's hungry and wants to win.
As you reflected on last year, what was the one point that you felt like you have to improve on for this year? Was there one weakness per se?
I would say up front, offensive line. That's where everything starts. I think last year our defense was pretty solid. Defensive front was pretty solid. Now with another a year under our belts for those guys that's coming back, I think we maintain all the starting offensive line that's coming back, so they've all experienced. So it should be well battle tested for us.
That's Joel. The guy next to you there, Jordan, is last year we saw tremendous leadership from him on the field, on the sideline. What does Jordan do? Because he plays offense and defense. What kind of example does he set for you guys?
So I'd say that Jordan definitely extends his dad's energy everywhere. And I said earlier that his dad kind of demands perfection everywhere on the team, and it's the same with Jordan. So even in the smaller things and keeping the locker room clean or making sure that everybody's here on time and making sure that we're in the right uniform, he does a lot for us and making sure that we stay we're staying straight on that.
Jordan, big year coming up for you, of course, and more football ahead after that, but this is a big cap to your high school career. How do you look at this senior year? What would you like to accomplish?
I just really want to go out there and win a state championship. I want to bring it back to what we did my freshman year. We was right there, so close. I think it was really one play away from winning the state championship game. But, I think this year with the guys we have now, the experience we have, that's all we want to do, and that's our motto this year, is to go win a state championship.
Joel, you're nodding in agreement with that, and you are a standout on defense. Tell me about the Bryan Station defensive unit. What do you have as far as goals generally or specifically?
So I'd say Bryan Station's number one goal since forever I can remember has been storm to the ball, 11 hats to the ball, and we're going to keep that going this year. Station's defense has always been what's really been our rock. You get what I'm saying? Our offense sometimes gets kind of shaky, but I say our defense always ends up pulling through for us. So, I feel like we're going to bring that same energy this year because defense wins championships.
Jordan, the rivalry between Station and Douglas, I know they've had everyone's number here in Lexington, but what is that like? to go head-to-head with those guys?
I think it's a great experience. We played against those guys ever since we was from Pee Wee, so we all grew up together. So, I don't really see it as a rivalry game. Most of the guys that are on that team I know very well personally. So it's just, I treat it as another game. If you think it's bigger than another game, then it's wrong. Just every game you got to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one opponent at a time. So, just keeping a level head and just knowing that you're just playing against the same guys that you grew up with is basically our motto whenever we go against them.
Jordan, I know I've asked you this before, but what is it like in 6A? People don't play two ways because each team has like 70 players on the roster. So it's not just that everybody's fresh. Like in 2A, everybody's dogging it because everybody's playing two ways. What's it like for you to play two ways in 6A, knowing you're going up against fresh guys on either side of the ball every time?
I love it. I think every week you play against 6A, you're getting the best of the best. You get guys from different levels. There's guys that don't play at a high level, Allen Evans, 6A corner. At Trinity, you also got Elijah Crum. He's going to Duke. There's a lot of guys that are going high D1 places against 6A. So I think that's very good for us. And for me going two ways, I get to see the best out of everybody, Me playing receiver, I get to go against the best DBs. Me playing corner and safety, I get the best out of every receiver. So, I just think that's very helpful for me and everybody on our team to get to the next level and help our play when it comes to the playoffs and hopefully state championship.
Joel, you spent a lot of time in the other team's backfields. You had the 9 tackles for loss last year. It's got to be a point of pride for you. What's the key to beating somebody and getting to the running back?
I think it's mostly preparation, right? Watching film before and really trying to know what's going to happen before it happens, right? And so then if you stay on your keys and then you can recognize something that you already seen in film 3 days ago, then you can fly to the ball like that. So I think that's...
So a lot of that has to happen long before Friday night, doesn't it?
Coach, let's take a look at your schedule and what stands out for you.
Pretty nice little schedule we have. Like I said, we open up with LCA Friday. Next week we travel up to North Odom. Then we open the actual kick things off. We're back at LCA and we have South Warren, then Corbin, and then Boyle County, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Boyle County, then Corbin. Then we come back with Ballard, Taste Creek, Simon Kenton, GRC, Frederick Douglass, Madison Central, and we wound up with South Odom.
Tough schedule, right?
Yeah. I mean, it challenges you. I think it also prepares you for the playoffs. That you see those top teams early in the season, and just got to stay healthy.
And then, I talked about early in the show about our preseason top 10s coming out next week. Number 4, Frederick Douglass. Number 8, Madison Central. Number 9, Bryan Station in the Class 6A top 10. I mean, Madison Central is year in and out become one of your toughest rivals. One of the toughest districts in the state. I mean, how does that challenge you guys?
We just tie our shoelaces up and go to work. I mean, we got a plan. We can't dodge them. Like I said, like you was just saying, our district is, in my opinion, probably the toughest district in KHSAA. So we're just gonna take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and just prepare.
Coach, is there a particular message or theme that Bryan Station football is using this year to get ready for this 2026 season?
Just compete and dominate.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. All the best to Bryan Station this year.
Thank you.
Thanks so much to Station. We'll talk about Sayre when we come back and then wrap things up live on Glycon.
Calling all football fans. Come on down to Roosters, where the wings are hot, the drinks are cold, and the good times never stop. Roosters is where you can catch all the action of the game and enjoy a delicious meal. Choose from 15 varieties of sauces. Even try our burgers, salads, and out-of-this-world pizzas. Something for everyone at Roosters. Dine in, carry out, or let us cater. Open late for the Night Owls. Visit our Richmond Road location or off Nicholasville Road by Walmart.
This is the velvety green turf of your lawn, where you don't just earn your stripes, you mow them. Victory is not without obstacles. Tall grass, dreaded fence line, trees to get under and around. Once we called this no man's land. Today we call it conquered. with cold, hard steel and an iron will. Go ahead, take a victory lap, 'cause it's Mo Day.
You don't have to look far to see the power of the Electrical Union Local 369. No matter the size, we have the right contractor to fill your needs. When it counts, you can count on the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 369. Contact the IBEW today.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
At Central Equipment, we're a family. And that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers.
Through the quality brands that we represent.
With the parts and service that we offer.
With one main focus of making sure you,
our customers, leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family.
So we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Welcome back to Roosters. We've chatted with 8 head coaches, actually 7 plus 1 assistant. Sayre unable to be here tonight, some conflicts due to the weather in their practice. Let's talk about the Spartans a little bit, Jared. What do you look for from them this year?
Well, I think they took an unexpected step back last year, losing to Paris, I think in maybe the second round. But I expect them to be, back up into contention and making a deep run in the playoffs. If you look at their schedule, in Class A, it's a murderous schedule. There are 5 top 10 teams on that schedule. When you talk about Kentucky Country Day, Williamsburg, Newport, Louisville Holy Cross, Middlesboro, and then once they get into the playoffs, Raceland is only going to be maybe a region championship level game. It could even be a second round game for them. Raceland is our preseason number 1. Sayre's got Gage Pennington back, the coach's youngest son. He threw it some last year, had some success at quarterback. I think his dad expects him to run it more this year, so he'll be more of a dual threat this year. Gage is also a tremendous lacrosse player. The Spartans were the state semifinals lacrosse team last spring. And a number of players do both of those sports. But I expect, even though this schedule is difficult, I expect them to be right there in the thick of it at the end.
And Keith, Coach Pennington, just done a tremendous job, 59-22.
Yeah, he's been great, and of course we've seen his sons come through and lead the team. But Sayre has just had some really terrific athletes over the last several years, playing college football now, and it's always a treat to watch them because they have those guys that are just really effective and sometimes outstanding players on both sides of the ball. Because as we talked in our earlier conversation, at a place like Sayre, you got to play both sides of the ball. So it's another coaching challenge in getting the most out of those players. But they've certainly responded, and what a program he's built out there. And the Sayre fans, they certainly enjoy their Sayre Spartans because it's a great atmosphere on Friday nights out there at Sayre.
We mentioned Gage Pennington, also Harrison Phillips, tight end Paul Miller, and linebacker Jake Marita figure prominently as well, Jared.
Yeah, and Miller was one of those lacrosse kids too on that state semifinal lacrosse team. They also are getting a transfer, I think, from Henry Clay and Isaiah King. And then you mentioned Harrison Phillips. He was second on the team in tackles last year.
Take a look at the Sayre schedule. What are the challenges, Keith, at the 1A level? Because depth is certainly not going to be favorable for all of these teams. How difficult is that week in and week out?
Well, I guess I just have to say I admire the dedication of the players to stay in the kind of condition you have to be to play a top-flight game against the best competition in the state on both sides of the ball. When I hear these young guys explain what they go through and how much they know they need to dedicate themselves to it to be effective, it's really very impressive. And so I think that just responding to that challenge is something that both the coaches and players, that they know it's there, they know they've got to do it, and if you're going to succeed at 1A, that's the formula. That's the thing you absolutely have to do.
In just over 2 weeks, high school football will start in 2026, and we have a busy opening night. 3 key games in the area. Collins and Henry Clay will start things, and then Highlands, Douglas, North Oldham, Lafayette. Guys, 3 interesting games in that Douglas Highlands game. We've already talked about it with Nathan McPeak, but that is a big one early in the year.
Yeah, last year's was a thrill. It went to multiple overtimes, and Tate Lorenzen, everybody knew his name anyway, but he made his name again last year in that Douglas game by scoring in the sudden death overtime. The scene there was tremendous. I expected the scene at the farm to be just as great.
How much improved will Henry Clay be, do you think, this year, Keith?
I look for them to make a pretty good jump. I mean, they just won the 1-ball game last year. I know they expected to do better than that, even in the rebuilding situation. But in talking to assistant coach Ambergy tonight, they seem like they're ready. People are buying in. They're getting what they needed to start building on a program. Now, it's a tough road, of course. But I would be surprised if they don't make a significant jump this year.
What's the storyline that you'll follow?
For Henry Clay or
in general?
I am, again, looking to see how Lexcath does going forward through the season with the expectations on them without the quarterback that was most of their offense last year. I think seeing what Dunbar can do, how they improve this year, how that district, can anybody challenge Tates Creek? We talked about Tates Creek's tough schedule. After they played that tough schedule last year, they ran through the district. I don't know if they can run through the district again this year with the leadership they've lost. It might be more even. There might be a chance for Dunbar or Henry Clay or Lafayette to get that district out of there. And then between Douglas and Bryan Station, Douglas has had Bryan Station numbers all this time. Is this the year that Bryan Station makes the leap and tries to do that? But Douglas had a down season last year and was 1 play away from the state semifinals. I think that they're going to be better this year as well.
Is there a state champion, Keith, in this group, do you think?
Oh, well, there could be. I think the Douglas people are ready to bounce back, aren't they, after what for them was a little bit of a subpar year. They seem to be fully focused and ready to go, and what an impressive group of athletes he had here tonight, and those guys will be great out on the field again too. So maybe them, but LCA is coming off a state championship year. So we've got some teams around this area that people will see on Glycod this year that are certainly going to make some noise.
In Tates Creek, they have the players. Perhaps they learned some things last year. They can take that step this year.
Yeah, and we're not too far removed from both Tates Creek and Dunbar being in a region championship, being in state semifinals. That's been in the last 10 years. I mean, all Lexington, people talk about Lexington football being down a little bit. We're just like one bounce away from making another historic run. And I also say this about Lexington Catholic. Lexington Catholic has been probably the second best team in Class 3A for the last 4 years. And the problem is they've run into Cal at either the state semifinals level or the region championship 3 of those years. And last year they lost a wild game at Murray, and they could have been right back at the state semifinals again last year just for one bad bounce.
And Keith, it's so great to see these coaches intermingle and the respect they have with one another. They want to kill each other on the field, but they're respectful companions all.
Yeah, there's a little bit of brotherhood there, too. We talked about a brotherhood that the players develop as they go through their practices and their games. But, the coaches, certainly there's a common denominator of respect, and they enjoy joking around a little bit at this stage, and that's really a sign of the good relationships that they have. But when we kick off, the couple of hours there, it'll be what can I do to beat you?
We can't wait to see you on the 21st. Thanks so much for joining us tonight live on Glycod. For Jared Peck, Jill Million, and Keith Elkins, I'm Chris LeBar. So long, and we'll see you on the 21st for high school football on Glycod.
You're watching a special presentation on Glycod.
Visit glycod.com and follow us on social media for information about upcoming broadcasts and other high school sports content. Thank you for watching this live sports presentation on Glycod.